Hey you guys, this is Jess with School Journey back with another video. I wanted to do a quick video today with you, just kind of going over some other keywords and phrases that I noticed over time, especially within the last week. It's more of a shorter list in comparison to the previous videos I put up, but it's interesting because this very much aligns with a lot of what I've been discussing in my previous videos. So there is some connection in some form or another in regards to what I'm getting ready to go over with you guys here. So yeah, again, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in. So, oh, as a side note, just so you guys are aware, I know I mentioned to some of you that I was going to do like, I guess like a bit of a mini haul in terms of some of my favorites that I usually pick up from Sephora. I've been asked quite a bit by a few of you guys what are some of my favorite picks from that store. So there are a few items I need to re-up on, and I keep putting it off, I know, but I need to go in there and make a quick stop, and I will make sure to incorporate those with what I have as far as my other makeup products that I have here. A lot of it is dealing with facial cleansers, what else? Scrubs, which I guess you could say is a cleanser too in its own way. Lipstick, mascara, and what else? Perfume too, which I need to re-up my perfume. But we'll talk about that in another video. I don't want to go into that too deep here. But yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and go over some of those keywords and phrases that I've noticed within the past week. Okay, so some of the keywords and phrases that I did come across that I feel coincides with what I shared with you guys in previous videos that I noticed quite heavily this week. It would be the word Rico. I still keep noticing the word sting, but now I'm also noticing the word raid as well. I've noticed also a lot of moving trucks still. Again, I don't know who this might be for, but if you have in fact been noticing signs and things that align with that, and now you're hearing it again in this video, this is for you, okay? Also, one thing that was very interesting that I've never experienced before, I was driving home one evening and there was this tree. It had no leaves on it. But when I looked up, there were a lot of, I believe it was crows. It had to have been crows. I doubt that they were ravens. You know how you can usually tell by their beak? A lot of you who may know the difference, may know what I'm talking about when I say that. It's by the shape of their beak. So anyhow, I think it was crows. There was a plethora of them. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many. I had to be close to, if not well over 100 on one tree at the top of the tree. And they were all cawing at the same time or at various points, but it was like a flow of cawing, if you will. I wish I could have recorded it, but I was driving at the time, so I couldn't stop to record. But it was something I've never witnessed or heard of before in my life. Typically, I would hear them just like one or maybe two at separate points, like cawing here and there, or more, depending on where I'm walking or leaving out of. But when it came to when I was driving home, to hear that, to witness that, I've never seen anything like it. It was so, I wouldn't say bizarre, but it was just, it was very interesting. I guess we'll leave it at that. It wasn't bizarre. It was beautiful to witness, but it was something that it did catch me off guard because I'm not quite sure what could be the meaning behind that. It was just beautiful to witness. Also, again, if you have been noticing rainbows, something as simple as rainbows, beautiful thing, but if you're noticing it quite heavily in your weeks, like maybe several days out of a week, and it's been consistent, this is for you. I forgot to write that down as well. Also, I've been seeing the word grandmother. I don't know who that might be for. My ear was ringing just now. Okay, so my ear was just ringing. So I don't know who that might be for, or maybe that could have been for me. But I've noticed the word quite heavily, grandmother or grandma or yeah, or not grandmom, but just grandmother or grandma, to put it plainly. If you have in fact seen or been seeing black cats, this is for you. People need to understand that even when it comes to a black cat, that does not mean anything bad. Please do your research and understand it does not. As the old school saints to go, don't believe the hype. Okay. Also, I've been seeing the letter B a lot. Another thing, when it comes to seeing a dead animal, you might want to look into the meaning behind that as well. Now, I know usually those type of things, it can mean many things. For instance, it can mean the end of a certain cycle, the start of something new. Just giving you some examples, but you get the gist of what I'm getting at here, right? So if you see like a dead bird or several dead birds throughout, let's say within a week or within a month. Let's say you see, excuse me, got tongue tied there. Let's say you see dead dogs. Maybe you might come across dead dogs randomly along your path, like maybe as you're driving or heading to a certain location, or maybe you might see them in your dreams too. If that happens, this is for you. Definitely look into that. There's material online that can explain to you exactly what that is about. And what else? What else? Also, it's just other names. I've been really just other names. So again, for me, what I've noticed outside of the name Sarah, outside of the name Emma, I've been noticing the name Betty as well, quite heavily. Now for me personally, that sits with me quite heavily because that's my late mother's name. Now, one thing I was going to say also is that, you know, again, if in any of these things, including the names, resonate with you, this could also be something for you as well. Also, pay close attention to other signs and synchronicities. Also pay attention to songs, because you'll be surprised some of the stuff that we tend to overlook in our day without, again, slowing down and actually paying close attention to what's taking place around us to know that, okay, maybe that is God, maybe that's a spiritual team trying to get me to listen in on something. I can't tell you the number of times where I've actually posted videos up about this, where, you know, I might have a question about something, and I've gotten better with it. So if I have a question about something, or if something's weighing on me heavily that I'm thinking about in terms of like, oh, I got to submit this project or blah, 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 right? And it's weighing on me heavy, you know, you'll see a certain sign or maybe a synchronicity that'll pop up, a number combination that you're like, okay, I know what they're saying. Like, there might be something along the lines of, you know, 777, 999. It can go on and on. I can tell you all the numbers I've seen. It could be maybe 396, 369. You know, just so many different number combinations. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. I say all this to say, simply being able to slow up and pay close attention to those signs throughout the day, you'll be surprised how relaxing you'll feel thereafter when you notice it. And know that God, know that the spiritual team is aware of it, and they're with you every step of the way to help you get you through this journey, just so you can move beyond those concerns. I really think that sometimes we can get so caught up in our day and wanting instant gratification with everything that we forget that we have an entire spiritual space that's backing us, each and every single one of us. Even if we fall when it comes to walking this path, just knowing that they understand that we are human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and they understand because some of them have once been here too, so they understand the plight that we deal with on a daily basis. And I think if people can begin to understand that and stop being hard on themselves, things would be easier to take on from day to day. I think sometimes we could be our own toughest critics. I am definitely guilty of that. I could be my own toughest critic. At one point, when I was in the corporate space with another establishment, I was always that one that was so meticulous when it came to getting things done. I just had a bit of a perfectionist streak. I did. And I own that. Because I understood what type of environment I was in. And in order to keep up with the big dogs, I had to be just that. Very meticulous, a perfectionist. So if I wanted to be recognized as one of the top ones, which I was in the environment I was in before, I had to do just that. I had to make sure everything was top tier, on point. And as time progressed onward, and after I got out of that space, I began to realize that, Jess, you're human. Things are not going to always be perfect. All you can do is just pretty much go with the flow and let the chips fall where they may. If it ends up being something that you completed, like a phenomenal feat, then that's great. Kudos to you. But if it ends up being not so great, still, kudos to you. I realized when I started taking that approach and stopped having such this need for being a perfectionist in everything I did in my day-to-day, the weight was lifted like no other. Things began to move a bit, just more fluid-like. And it just made me eager to want to do other things, so at the end of the day, it's all about the thought process. But for me, knowing that I had and that I still have a spiritual team, i.e. being God, and of course our angel space, our angel team, that's backing me, and those that have once been here who understand the plight that we face on a daily basis. Knowing that now, where I'm standing today, it gives me such a peace of mind, and I hope it would give others a peace of mind too once they come to understand that in regards to their lives as well. And that is all for this quick video. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are some of the key words, phrases, or maybe signs or synchronicities that you are noticing in your day-to-day? I know I'm not the only one that's witnessing this. And each individual that's encountering this is happening for a reason. What are some of the things that stand out to you that puts a smile on your face? That lets you know that, okay, I know they're there because they're making sure that I see this or that I hear that. I can tell you a number of times, even when I go into a store, it might be a certain song or something that I might hear. And as you guys can tell, I'm old school. I'm a millennial, team millennial all day. But I'm definitely old school. I'm a bit of an old soul. So when it comes to my music too, I like a little bit of the older stuff, not really much of this new age type of deal, but to each his own. But it tickles me because that actually happened today. I remember I went to the store. I finally got me a new luggage that I was really eyeing. It's called, I think it's Kelsey something. I forgot the name. Anyhow, it was beautiful. I ended up finally purchasing it because I've been thinking, like, should I not? And I did it because I just wanted a new luggage piece to add to my collection. Make a long story short, when I was in the store, one of my favorite songs by Marvin Gaye was coming on. And I was listening because at first I was just kind of moseying around, just like looking. I'm like, which luggage am I going to go for? And I didn't want anything. I'm not really one that's really big on the bright colors and patterns. Again, I'm more old school. I like the regal, more of the classy look when it comes to a lot of things, when it comes to anything I drive, when it comes to anything that I wear. As I mentioned to you guys in the previous video, even when it comes down to the type of items I wear, if it's leather, meaning like if the purse is a certain material, the shoes need to match it. No mixed match. So I'm kind of like that person in my own way. So even when it comes down to my luggage, I like to make sure it's a clean, sleek look, a solid color, nothing too vibrant for me. Because I like to keep it just more of classy look. So the point I want to drive home is when I was in there shopping around, I'm looking like trying to figure out which luggage to go for, and I'm rolling it around just to see how it feels as I'm rolling it around. I remember I was listening to this song. It's this one song by Marvin Gaye, and some of you guys might know the song I'm talking about. I have quite a few of his songs on my playlist, but it's this one called "I Want You." It's by Marvin Gaye. And it's like, I want you to want me to, or something to that effect. I won't sing the song, okay? So don't ask. But go type it up. There's videos on YouTube with it, and it's called I Want You by Marvin Gaye. That song is one of my favorites by him. But it's just something about the beat, the tune to it. But not to get deep into why that song holds significance, but it's one of my favorite songs. One of my favorites from my list, my playlist. So the point I'm trying to make is that noticing those little things and how it all connects in some way or another, whether it be just something that you enjoy listening to, or maybe it's something that you and someone you have a spiritual connection with listen to. And you know they listen to it because in some way they kind of put it out there for you to catch on that they listen to it too. Then, yeah, you need to pay close attention to those details. Plain and simple. We're gonna stop right there. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I have my reasons. But yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. So yeah, that is all for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Why am I grinning so hard? I don't know. Okay. Consultations are still open, so definitely if you are interested, by all means, definitely look into the calendar, see what spots I have available, if it is something that is of interest to you. If you don't see anything available on the calendar, you want to set something up in advance, or if you have issues accessing the calendar for that matter, definitely reach out to me. You can message me. You can also email me. I do respond back. But other than that, as always, I'm definitely seeing you guys with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed, you guys.